Have you ever wondered if someone truly misses you? How can you tell if her thoughts still linger on you long after you've parted ways? In a world filled with distractions and fleeting emotions, there are deeper, more subtle signals that reveal the truth. Today we explore 5 undeniable signs that she misses you deeply, all examined through a Stoic lens. By recognizing these signs, you'll gain insight into the silent language of genuine emotion and learn to approach relationships with clarity and composure. Before we begin, if you find value in this discussion, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more content that encourages wisdom, self-awareness, and emotional strength. Engaging with this knowledge can deepen your understanding of emotional intelligence and human connections. So let's take a moment to reflect and explore what it truly means when she misses you. 1. The art of remembering. When someone truly misses you, they remember details, small moments that made you both smile, tiny gestures that carried weight, and words that left an impact. A Stoic mind values memory as a guide for understanding what is truly significant in life. If she recalls a shared joke, a particular song you once listened to together, or a quiet conversation that meant a lot to you both, it speaks volumes about her feelings. These are not mere coincidences, they are echoes of genuine connection. Memory is selective. The mind clings to what it cherishes most. If she brings up past experiences with warmth or nostalgia, she is expressing an unspoken longing. In the realm of Stoicism, we recognize that emotions should be observed rather than ruled by them. But this act of remembering is a clear sign that you hold value in her world. Furthermore, beyond just remembering, she may even recreate certain moments. If she revisits places where you shared meaningful experiences, listens to songs that remind her of you, or even repeats phrases that you used to say, it's a sign of deep emotional attachment. These subconscious behaviors indicate that her mind drifts toward you, even when she's not actively trying to think about you. Additionally, she may keep sentimental objects associated with you. Whether it's a gift you gave her, an old photo, or even a message thread she refuses to delete, these physical representations of memory show a desire to maintain a connection to you. Objects serve as anchors to emotions, and if she holds on to them, it signifies a longing that she hasn't fully let go of. 2. Thoughtful communication. A simple hello can be fleeting, but when her messages or calls carry depth, thoughtfulness, and intention, she is reaching out from a place of true longing. Communication that goes beyond surface-level exchanges reveals a connection that refuses to fade. A Stoic approach teaches us to analyze the intent behind words rather than just their presence. If she asks meaningful questions about your well-being, reminisces about past conversations, or simply reaches out without an obvious reason, it is likely because she is thinking of you. She doesn't just text to fill silence. She texts because she misses the connection. Moreover, when she chooses her words carefully or makes an effort to continue a conversation, she is showing emotional investment. Stoicism encourages us to engage with sincerity, to appreciate true bonds while maintaining inner stability. Recognizing these signs allows us to understand the depth of her emotions without being swayed by superficial interpretations. Another clear indicator is how she reacts to your responses. If she expresses genuine curiosity, asks follow-up questions, or finds ways to prolong the conversation, it means she enjoys speaking with you and values your presence in her life. Likewise, if she reaches out during moments of vulnerability, whether she needs advice, comfort, or simply a familiar voice, it's a strong sign that she sees you as someone significant. In addition, consider how she interacts with you on social media. If she consistently likes, comments, or reacts to your posts, or if she shares things that relate to past memories with you, she is subtly keeping the connection alive. In today's digital age, these interactions carry weight and reflect emotional engagement. Furthermore, she may find indirect ways to communicate her emotions. Perhaps she posts quotes, lyrics, or images that subtly hint at her thoughts or feelings about you. This passive form of reaching out indicates that she still holds an emotional space for you in her life, even if she isn't explicitly stating it. It's also worth noting how she behaves when you don't respond immediately. If she patiently waits for your reply without frustration or insistence, it suggests she respects your space, but still hopes for interaction. On the other hand, if she follows up with gentle reminders or humor, it could be her way of ensuring that the conversation continues without making her feelings too obvious. Stay tuned for the next signs that reveal she misses you deeply. If you've experienced these first two signs, take a moment to reflect. Do you recognize her actions as genuine? Have you noticed subtle signs beyond what has been discussed here? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. 3. The unspoken presence. There is a language beyond words, a form of communication that cannot be captured by speech alone. It lingers in a glance, in the way someone chooses to remain close, in the quiet understanding that passes between two people without the need for explanation. Some truths are too profound to be spoken. They exist in the unspoken presence of another. She does not say it outright, nor does she need to. Instead, she chooses to be near you, finding silent ways to occupy the same space as you. At first, it may seem incidental, coincidence perhaps, but over time you begin to notice the pattern, the way she lingers when others leave, the way she finds a reason to stay a little longer, the way she drifts into your orbit as though drawn by some invisible force neither of you dare to name. It is easy to mistake silence for absence, but those who observe closely understand that silence is often the loudest confession of all. The Stoics taught that one must learn to watch without judgment, to see beyond what is said and into what is felt. And so you begin to watch, not just her words, but her presence. You recall the times she has simply been there, not demanding attention, not filling the air with idle words, but just existing beside you in a way that feels as natural as breathing. Perhaps it was the way she sat next to you in a crowded room, close enough that your arms nearly brushed, but not quite. Or the way she waited outside in the cold when you were running late, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. In the quiet moments, her presence speaks of things neither of you can yet put into words. The unspoken is powerful, stronger than declarations, deeper than fleeting affections. It is in the way she listens, not just to what you say, but to what you leave unsaid. In the way her eyes search yours for a moment too long before she looks away. In the way she lingers, even when there is no need to. 4th, consistent concern for your well-being. True care is not always grand or dramatic. It does not always arrive in sweeping gestures or poetic confessions. More often than not, it is found in the small, consistent moments, the kind that, when taken alone, may seem insignificant, but when woven together, form something undeniable. She asks if you've eaten today. She reminds you to rest, even when you insist you're fine. She checks in after a long day, not because she must, but because she wants to. It is easy to dismiss these moments as casual kindness, but when they persist, when they are given freely with no expectation in return, it becomes clear that they are something more. A woman who cares does not do so out of obligation. Her concern is not fleeting, nor is it dependent on convenience. It is steady, unshaken by time or circumstance. She remembers the small things, the details others overlook. She notices when you are quieter than usual, when you seem tired, when something is weighing on your mind. The Stoics teach that true virtue is reflected in action, not in fleeting emotions. Love, in its purest form, is not just a feeling. It is a commitment, an ongoing choice to show up again and again. And she does. Even in the smallest ways, she makes sure you are okay. You begin to realize that her care extends beyond simple politeness. It is in the way she knows your coffee order by heart, the way she texts to make sure you got home safely, the way she offers you her last piece of chocolate without hesitation. It is in the way she waits for your response after asking how your day was, because she genuinely wants to know. In a world that moves fast, where people often care only when it is convenient, her consistent concern is a rare and precious thing. It is not grandiose, nor does it seek recognition, but it is there, unwavering. It is in the details, in the quiet ways she makes sure you are okay, even when you do not ask her to. And if she cares enough to check on you, even when there is no reason to, if she notices when you are not quite yourself, if she remembers the things that matter to you, then you are not just another presence in her life. You are someone she holds in her thoughts, someone she considers without being asked to, and perhaps that is the purest form of love. 5. Reflective vulnerability. True strength is often misunderstood. Many associate it with emotional detachment, an unwavering facade of resilience that rejects any sign of inner turmoil. However, a deeper understanding reveals that strength does not stem from the absence of emotion, but rather from the courage to acknowledge and process it. A Stoic perspective teaches that recognizing one's feelings and allowing space for reflection is not a weakness, but a balanced acceptance of the natural human condition. She may not always openly express what she feels, but her moments of reflective vulnerability tell a different story. In these quiet instances, when she allows herself to retreat into thought, she is not withdrawing from the world, but rather navigating the complexity of her emotions. It is in these moments of solitude, when she sits silently in a familiar place, her eyes distant with contemplation, that you can sense the depth of what she carries within. Her vulnerability may surface in subtle ways. Perhaps she revisits places that hold memories of you, drawn to their familiarity, their quiet echoes of the past. She might find solace in a favorite book, reading the same pages you once discussed, finding unspoken comfort in the words. Or maybe she listens to music that reminds her of shared moments, allowing the melodies to stir emotions she won't easily articulate. Even in conversation, her vulnerability may be present in the pauses between words, the slight hesitations before she speaks of certain memories. It is in these understated moments, when she doesn't force herself to be indifferent, that you can recognize her true feelings. A flicker of emotion in her gaze, a thoughtful silence, a sigh that carries unspoken longing. All of these are quiet, yet powerful affirmations of how deeply she is affected by your absence. Yet it is important to understand that this reflection is not merely about grief or loss. It is about processing, about understanding herself in relation to what she has experienced. She does not dwell on the past with despair, but rather allows herself to acknowledge it, to learn from it, and to grow. Her ability to embrace these moments of introspection is in itself a sign of her strength. A Stoic woman does not allow emotions to rule her, but she does not deny them either. She understands that emotions are an essential part of the human experience. By facing them with quiet acceptance, she demonstrates an inner fortitude that many misunderstand. Reflective vulnerability is not about succumbing to sadness, but about honoring one's feelings in a way that fosters wisdom and resilience. In the journey of life, understanding the language of emotions is an art, a delicate balance between feeling and reason. Emotions, when left unexamined, can lead to impulsive actions, but when understood, they become a source of clarity and wisdom. To appreciate the depth of another person's feelings, one must learn to read between the lines, to recognize the small yet significant ways in which emotions are expressed. By recognizing these 5 signs, you can appreciate the subtle ways she shows that she cares. These gestures, often understated, carry the weight of genuine emotion. She may not always articulate her feelings in grand declarations, but her actions speak volumes. In her steadfast presence, in the careful thought she puts into her words, in the quiet moments of reflection, her emotions find their voice. Embrace the Stoic wisdom. Observe, reflect, and respond with clarity. Do not rush to interpret silence as indifference, nor mistake composure for a lack of feeling. Instead, understand that true emotion is often best expressed not in excess, but in restraint, not in fleeting intensity, but in quiet, measured expression. In recognizing this, you gain a deeper appreciation for the depth of her feelings and, in turn, cultivate a more profound connection. Life is not about overwhelming gestures, but about meaningful moments. When you learn to see the subtleties, to listen to the silence between words, and to appreciate the depth behind simplicity, you begin to understand love in its purest form. In the end, genuine emotion is not about proving, but about knowing that it exists, even when unspoken. Hit that like button if you found this helpful, and subscribe for more dating and self-improvement tips. I'll catch you in the next one.